From Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, to Monsters, Inc. and Shrek, 2001 is going down as one of the best years for fantasy and animation. What's going on, guys? My name is Trevor and welcome to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you my top 10 favorite movies of 2001 as part of the top 10 favorite movies from every year I've been alive series. Part 1 and 2 are already on the channel. The link is up above. Today I'm sharing with you my top 10 favorite movies from 2001. Some of the movies that won the big Oscars are not even going to be on this list. Some of those movies I have not seen. Some of those movies I don't really like. But let me know your top 10 favorite movies of 2001 down below in the comments. Just hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. Let's get into this. So starting off at number 10, Spy Kids. Spy Kids was one of those movies I watched all the time growing up, and I love the gadgets and the spy family that they had, and I wish my family was a spy family. I mean, my family was pretty cool, but like, to be spies? That would be freaking awesome. I always thought Junie, aka Butterfingers, as his sister Carmen always calls him, I always wanted to be Junie. I related to Junie because I was a little bit of an awkward kid. I had red hair. Something like that. And these parents were so cool, and this world itself was extremely cool. I remember watching Spy Kids all the time on Nickelodeon. Honestly, I kind of want to go watch it right now. At number 9 is going to be American Pie 2. I'm a diehard fan of the American Pie movies, and they are not for everyone. I'm fully aware of that. But I watch these movies all the time with my brother and my dad. That was like a thing we did. We watched these movies. I was 7. Thanks, Dad. You scarred me for life. But American Pie 2, they're all home from the summer from college. They all kind of went their different ways. They're all back home telling their stories, hooking up with people they did in high school, coming back, and everything's coming back to light about how they actually feel about each other and their friendships and their stories and how it is college, and they're trying to make it seem better than it actually was. I love the American Pie movies because they're just fun. They know what they are. They're really self-aware. They are a little bit dumb, but I think American Pie 2 is great, and it gives me that coming-of-age vibe, that summertime chill vibe that I absolutely love. That's why I love American Pie 2, and it's why I made the list. At number 8, Jurassic Park 3, a movie that a lot of people hate, but for me is a guilty pleasure and one of my favorite Jurassic Park movies. I grew up watching this movie all the time on VHS. The Spinosaurus killing the T-Rex in the beginning of the movie is still cool to this day. I'm going to stand by that. And what this movie did a really good job at is making the Spinosaurus so terrifying. Every time he shows up on screen, you get the chills, you get the shivers, you don't know what's going to happen. They try to fly like the plane, the private jet off the island, and it makes it for a very scary and entertaining movie. I remember loving the hell out of this movie as a kid and being quite frightened of this movie as a kid. I mean, everything's not going to go well for you when you're on an island with dinosaurs. At number 7 is The Fast and the Furious, the first movie in what ended up being one of the most obnoxious out of this world franchises in the Fast and Furious franchise. But the first Fast and Furious movie is still to this day one of my favorites because it is so grounded. It's about an undercover cop, Brian O'Connor, trying to get into this car gang as they're robbing people and they're doing a bunch of illegal activity. He's a narc trying to get in with this car gang and ends up becoming one of their family members, one of their brothers, starts dating one of the girls. So there's drama with that and that. But the Fast and Furious movies, especially this one, it's just about racing cars in action. And that's what I love so much about it. I would say it has some of the better acting in the Fast and Furious movies. A young Vin Diesel is a much better actor than an older Vin Diesel, and Paul Walker as Brian. I mean, rest in peace to this guy because he crushes it in his role. And when you think of Paul Walker, you think of Brian O'Connor. I love these movies. I love the franchise, but the first Fast and Furious still to this day holds a special place in my heart. At number 6, Training Day.
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
Denzel Washington won the Oscar, rightfully so. This is arguably his greatest performance of all time, and this is one of the more intense movies you could ever watch. I've only seen Training Day once, and it still rings a bell inside of me, and Denzel's performance is nothing short of extraordinary. He's the biggest jerk, egomaniac guy you'll ever see, and Denzel brings that to light, and you don't see that a lot from Denzel. Ethan Hawke is also fantastic in this movie. If you haven't seen Training Day, first off, what have you been doing since 2001? Second off, go watch it right now. At number 5, Monsters, Inc. This is easily a top 5 Pixar movie for me, and I love the relationship between Mike and Sully. They end up having a human child roam the monster world with them. That is a recipe for a disaster, but also a recipe for a very funny, awesome movie. At number 4 is Shrek. Shrek to this day is one of the best animated movies of all time, and it's because it is an animated movie that's almost aimed at adults in a way, but it's about a misunderstood ogre and a talking donkey. going on a rescue mission to save Princess Fiona from the tower. This movie, first of all, the action is absolutely fantastic. When they're going to rescue Princess Fiona and the dragon is after them, that's some of the best action we've seen in an animated movie ever. This movie is raunchy, it's funny. Lord Farquaad is the biggest jerk, has a great villain, a great story, and a very good twist with Princess Fiona actually being an ogre herself. Shrek has a lot to love, and I love every bit of it. At number 3, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the first movie in the beloved Harry Potter franchise. It just captures the wizarding world so well, and he goes to the school that's made for wizards and warlocks and witches and all of that good fun stuff in Hogwarts, and the way they created this world to this day holds up. But also, the first time I watched this movie, my jaw was dropped to the floor as an 8-year-old kid whenever I first watched it, and I remember like, I want to go to Hogwarts, I want to be there. This movie holds a near and dear place to my heart. As a kid, I remember watching it all the time in daycare, and now as an adult, I'm still watching it, and I still love it. At number 2, Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11 has one of the best casts you can ever want in a movie, especially behind George Clooney and Brad Pitt. And it's a heist movie. I love a good show or movie about a heist, and Ocean's 11 crafts that so well. And this is my favorite Ocean's movie. Every time I go back and rewatch this movie, it's like I'm watching it for the first time. You forget how this whole thing's gonna go down. You buy into these characters, you buy into the story. They team up with all the great heist members to go and take down a huge prize. And we've seen movies like this time and time again, but it's these characters and their performances that really drive this movie home. We made it to number 1. It's Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring. This is arguably one of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm a diehard fan of the Lord of the Rings movies, and this movie, for being made in 2001, gotta give credit to where credit's due, to Peter Jackson for creating this world and the lore and not using really any CGI, like all practical effects, all makeup, creating the world of Mordor, creating the Shire, creating all these places. All these characters are so fleshed out, and you buy into all of them, and you can hate a character and then end up crying by his death at the end in Boromir. Fall instantly in love with the trio of Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, 3 people from complete different worlds all working together, and you start to root for the most uncommon of heroes in Frodo Baggins, Samwise Gamgee, Meriadoc Brandenburg, and Peregrine Took. It is epic, it is brutal, it is emotional, and it sets up what ends up being one of the greatest trilogy of all time, and what, in my opinion, the greatest trilogy of all time. Lord of the Rings: Fellowship of the Ring is my favorite movie from 2001. Let me know your favorite movies of 2001 down below in the comment section. This is part 3 of my favorite 10 movies of every year I've been alive. A long way to go, but I'm excited for it. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.